Hey guys, here's your guys' homework on dividing complex numbers by using the conjugate. So I'm gonna do the odd ones, okay? I'm gonna show you guys how to do the odd ones. So for like 31, again, you guys have to know what your conjugate is for the denominator, which is 7 minus 8i. That is the conjugate. Remember, it's the opposite of this sign right there. And you multiply top and bottom by 7 minus 8i. Okay, so we distribute. So we're going to distribute this 8. And luckily, there is no double distribution there. So you guys just have to distribute 8. And for the bottom, because you're multiplying by the conjugate, there is a shortcut because the middle terms are going to cancel, right? Your imaginary terms are going to cancel. So you multiply the two first terms and you multiply the two second terms. So we get 8 times 7, which is 56. 8 times negative 8i, that is negative 64i. On the bottom, we're going to use a shortcut. 7 times 7 is 49. And 8i times negative 8i, that is negative 64i to the second power. And remember, the I to the second is just negative 1. So what we get is 56. Oh, 50. So come on. 56 minus 64 I all over 49 plus, because negative 64 times negative 1, you guys, that's plus 64. So 56 minus 64i all over 103. And then we can split that up. We can split it up to look like the form of a plus bi in standard form. So we get 56 over 103 minus 64 over 103i. And let me just make sure that that looks good. I think that is pretty good. So 56 over 103 minus 64 over 103i. Okay, I'll let you guys have 33 actually, because it's okay. Okay, so here's number 33. So you guys multiply top and bottom by the conjugate. So the conjugate is the opposite of the one in the denominator, this sign, right? So negative 2 minus 2i over negative 2 minus 2i. So we're going to distribute. And then because we're multiplying by the conjugate, we're going to do the shortcut. Those two multiply together and these two multiply together. So we're going to get negative 8. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. 4 times negative 2i, negative 8i. All over. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. 2i times negative 2i, that's negative 4i to the second power. The I squared becomes negative 1. So what we get is negative 8 minus 8i over 4 plus 4, which is equal to negative 8 minus 8i all over 8. And if we split the fraction up, you guys, we get negative 8 over 8 minus 8 over 8i, which simply turns into negative 1 minus I. And there's your guys' answer for that. We simplified the fraction, or we just divided. 35. Multiply top and bottom by the conjugate. So conjugate is the opposite of that sign for the denominator. Negative 6 minus 4i times negative 6 minus 4i. double distribution. And for here, we're going to do a shortcut because the conjugates are getting multiplied to each other. So -6 times -6. And 4i times -4i. So we are going to get 5 times -6 is -60. Nope, sorry, -30. 5 times -4i, -20i. -5i times -6 is +30i. And -5i times -4i, you guys, that's +20i to the second power. -6 times -6 is 36. And 4i times -4i, you guys, that's -16i squared. But remember, the 2i to the second powers become -1, right? So what we really have is -30 minus 20i plus 30i. 20 times -1 is -20. All over 36. -16 times -1, +16. So we just simplify that. So reals, imaginaries. So we're going to get -50 plus 10i all over 52. Let's split that fraction up, you guys. So we get -50 over 52. Plus 10 over 52i. And then we can simplify these fractions, you guys. Divide top and bottom by 2. Divide top and bottom by 2. And we're going to get -25 over 26 plus 5 over 26i. Number 37, we multiply top and bottom by the conjugate. So the conjugate of the denominator is -2 plus I and -2 plus I. Now we can do a double distribution. And then we multiply the two first terms together, because anytime we multiply by the conjugate to its complex number, we can do the shortcut. And we multiply these and the square together. So what we get, 8 times -2, -16. 8 times I plus 8i. Now for the red, -7i times -2, that's +14i. And -7i times I, you guys, is -7i to the second power. For the blues, -2 times -2 is 4. And -I times I, you guys, that is -I squared. I to the seconds, they become -1s. So then we get -16 plus 8i plus 14i. -7 times -1 is +7. Negative times a -1, that's +1. So 4 plus 1. And if we simplify that further, these are real. These are imaginary. So we're going to get -9 plus 22i all over 5. And then you guys split that up so that it is in standard form. And there is your guys' answer. Okay, last one. Remember, you guys only go up to 40. So this one, We multiply top and bottom by the conjugate, so negative 9 plus 9i to top and bottom. Look at the sign, opposite of negative sign, you guys, is positive. And then double distribution. Multiply, use a shortcut, the first two and the last two. Okay, so from the purple, you guys are going to get 8 times negative 9 for negative 72, 8 times 9i for 72i. Negative 7i times negative 9 is positive 63i, and negative 7i times 9i, that's negative 63i squared. All over. Negative 9 times negative 9 is 81, you guys, and negative 9 times positive 99, that's negative 81i to the second power. The 2i to the seconds become negative 1, right? And now you guys just simplify. Negative 72 plus 72i plus 63i. Negative 63 times negative 1, that is positive 63. And negative 81 times negative 1, you guys, that's positive 81. Here are the reals. Here are the imaginary. So you guys get negative 9 plus 135i all over 182. So if you guys split these, you get negative 9 over 182 and plus 135 over 182i. So that should help you guys out. Again, it just requires you guys to have good precision with adding, subtracting integers, and multiplying your guys' numbers together. Okay? But there you guys go, and good luck, okay? Peace.